If you enjoy our show, spread the love wherever you listen by rating, reviewing, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff to help us get ourselves out there. And with that said, let's start the show. I'm Ode. That's Vicky. I'm me. You're you. We are we.
Oh my God, that was so corny.
The You, Me, We podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the You, Me, We podcast. Vicky, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Cool.
Oh, I'm good.
We're boat people. We'll start with that we're boat people now.
No, we're not.
We went on a boat. This is our first time doing a private boat ride. Not private. It sounds fancy, but we were on a boat that wasn't like a dinner party or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't like we bought tickets to be on the boat.
It was family. It was a family outing. With your sister, her fiance,
my mom,
your mom, her husband, and Kalel. So it was fun. It was fun. We're boat people. I got to get a hat now, and I need a hat, a pipe, and a robe, so I could be
so annoying.
So we could be official boat people. We're live on Instagram. For those of you who are there on Instagram and everyone listening, we're gonna do our best to go live a little more on Instagram, maybe some behind the scenes as we're recording these episodes. So keep an eye on our Instagram, You Me We podcast on Instagram. Anything else, Vicky, before we jump right in?
No.
Yes. Happy anniversary to two of our awesome.
Oh yes.
Friends.
Yes.
Have they both been on the show? Or
yes.
They've both been on the show, right?
Yes.
Okay. I thought it was just...
They were dropping a lot of good gems.
Yeah, so happy anniversary to Keon and Keon's wife.
Happy anniversary to my soror, my sister, Jezida, and her husband, Keon.
God. Happy anniversary to you guys. An amazing wedding, amazing couple.
Yes.
So we figured we would get on and talk about life after the wedding, right? But in that conversation, and I kind of want to start, if you don't mind me starting with this, in that conversation, or somehow that convo led to the talk of death somehow, right? Do you mind if we just kind of touch on that first? And it was revolving around us being married and future planning and stuff.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And somehow we got to the convo of death. And then that led to the fact that next year, going off of Miss Sunshine over here, Vicky wants next year to be our morbid year. I'm joking. So Vicky wants next year to be our morbid year. Explain, Vicky, why 2023 will be our morbid year and how it ties into a conversation of being married.
Okay. This is a weird transition. Okay, so I was reading a book. Dave's like, wow, that's so Vicky. So I was reading a book.
No matter what, anything going on in our life, right? We could be having an argument. Vicky would be like, I read in this book that when you're having an argument, or we could be about to plan a vacation. This book I read, I saw this woman on YouTube. She has a book. I didn't read the book yet, but I did buy it on Amazon. It's coming next week.
No, I don't buy books.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got a digital copy of the book.
Through the library.
And I put it on 4x speed, but she still says I read a book.
I did.
We digress.
I don't understand what is the problem with saying that I read a book when I did the audio version.
Okay, just go talk about that.
I listened to a book. I still got the same information that the person who read it did.
You want us to...
It's the same exact book. It's just a different medium of... Ooh. Okay, forget it. I'm not going to say nothing.
You want us to plan our death next year. Go ahead.
I don't want to plan the death. I want to prepare for a death. It's the one thing that's guaranteed in life. And yet no one wants to prepare for it.
Okay.
We want to prepare for all the possibility of things happening, right? Like me, even someone who loves using a planner, I want to prepare the day to reduce my anxiety, to make my day go easy or whatever. But nothing I put in that planner is guaranteed.
Okay.
Nothing's guaranteed on that planner. That's just a wish list. The only thing we are guaranteed for sure is that we're all gonna die.
And bills, isn't that the same?
Oh, taxes,
yeah.
bills, and
death.
Yeah. Those are guaranteed.
Okay.
And not even taxes are guaranteed in this country. You know, like if you live in another country.
Now we're getting political. Okay.
You live off the land and stuff. You're not really.
And we plan for taxes, as in it's automatically taken out.
So, I mean, and there's even like estate planning and planning in advance for your taxes. Like there's people that they're just on top of that. But it's guaranteed. And I feel like because it's such a it's scary because it's so unknown. Like we don't know what happens after.
Okay.
We just avoid the conversation altogether. But things have been set up so that even after we are not here, our loved ones are taken care of and we're not leaving them kind of like running around trying to redo this life.
There was a part of me, there was a time a couple years back, around when we first bought this house and we moved in, that I felt like, I have planned for, the possible, I don't know, how do you refer to it? I've not planned for my death, but I've planned for the future if I passed away. I felt that way because
people don't know how complex that is. It's not like you die and the next person in line gets it. Like it doesn't work like that.
And that's what I was gonna say. I felt like I planned for it because we got life insurance. Because I got life insurance, I felt I planned. My job here in planning for the future when it comes to death is done. And going off of what we talked about, it's not.
There's so much more.
Yeah,
that's like the basic. So I want us to focus on making sure we're all prepared. For when it happens, because it will happen.
The other day I was driving and it crossed my mind, and I was like, "Yo, if I die tomorrow, I'm supposed to do knock on wood or whatever. If I died tomorrow, yes, I have life insurance. I literally do not know right now. I couldn't tell Vicky who to call, what to do when it comes to the life insurance. I haven't looked into that in the longest. I have all the paperwork. Did I tell Vicky where it's at? Did I tell Vicky does Vicky have a copy? Do we have it digitally? Do we have it? We don't. So clearly, even though I felt in 2018 whenever we purchased it, I'm ready. I am not. Would you know, because there is some stuff with my job that, will assist in some way. Would you know who to call? Would you know what to do?
I know what department to go to.
Do you know the details of it? She doesn't. And vice versa. There's a bunch of stuff that Vicky is
involved with,
and she's the main person when it comes to our family with certain things that I've never asked about.
I didn't even think
Vicky does all the finances. If something happened tomorrow, there's accounts that I know I have access to. Have I ever accessed them? Nah. Do I open the emails? Nah. Because I'm like, Vicky got it. So yeah.
I feel like that's important, and I feel like it will take a span of a year to get all of that done, and hopefully, God willing, we see it through, and we won't have to initiate or, open anything for a very, very long time.
So that I would say that's part of the life after the wedding convo, because
even though that should have not been.
Yeah. But because we're married now, I'm not.
What is going on with you?
I say that because I guess I do that automatically because we've been together so long, and it's just an added on thing now. I don't mean that to sound bad, but I feel like there's more urgency now because we're married. Well, because we're married.
Yeah.
And that goes right into the conversation of life after the wedding. There's certain things, certain combos that were always there over the past 12 years, but there's a little more urgency in them. There's a little more, what's the word? There's a little more importance put on them. Priority. Even something as simple as arguments and how you approach an argument.
Oh my goodness,
and how long we feel that because we're married now, there's some, you know what? When we first moved in together, the topic of arguments changed.
Yes.
Because now we're living together, we can't be like, what? I don't want to do this. I'm leaving.
I mean, and you could, but then you still got to come back and get your stuff.
You got to come back at some point.
It's awkward.
No. I mean,
I've done it.
I mean, when we're not living together. Well, you're right. Episode 50, the You, Me, We podcast. Check it out.
I've done it a few times.
Call the therapist. Schedule an appointment. Trigger warning.
I know, and I just realized, wow, I did that a few times.
It's gonna keep.
No, I'm saying, like, you're right. Like, it's, yes, you can break up and just go, you know, but you still got to come back and get your stuff. It's awkward. You got to, like, who's going to stay? Who's going to go?
But when you're not living together, it's, you just, I'm leaving. I'm done. Or I'm done for the day. Or I ain't going to call him. I ain't going to text her.
Right.
Whatever.
If you're not living together, you could just be like, I don't ever have to answer that phone again. I never have to deal with this.
But living together, we've had to go to different rooms.
Yeah.
Or sometimes if the argument's at night, you know, you still got to sleep in that. You still got to lay there. Like, do you turn over the person? The feeling, the person still there. That weight, you still feel that weight there.
Still gotta wake up.
You still gotta wake up. What? Just
we're having a good weekend.
But yeah. So, how has the topic of arguments changed since being married? Like what little extra sauce is on it now, or dealing with an argument for you?
You can't just break out as easy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, true.
Like, you just can't. Like, I think that what changed for me was you can't break out as easy, because I don't think ending any relationship of significance is easy. Mm-hmm. But
can be done though.
No, definitely. And even marriages can be done. You know, like, everything can be done. But I'm cheap, and it costs a lot of money to get divorced. Okay. I mean, even if you just
cheaper to keep her,
gotta sign a paper, notarize it, take it to a judge, and be like, yes, we agree, we want to divorce, and we'll deal with everything on our own, kind of thing. But even so, I would say, complicated finances.
That's her way of saying, you know, all the money's here.
It's a little bit diverse. My streams are a little bit more diverse.
Okay,
you as well. Like, it's not like you work job A, I work job B, and that's it. And we own a house, and that's it.
We got streams of income.
It is not as elaborate and as excessive as it sounds, but
we got 1+ stream of income.
Right. And then we also have Kalal. So it is gonna cost us money to break away from this. So it does change the approach to arguments and discussions, and then trying to tie in the things that we're learning in therapy, and trying to not, like, me, I don't know if this is because of marriage, but where I am now, I'm just trying to have discussions, I guess, because it's not really arguments. I'm not trying to argue with you. Like, I'm not trying to, like, raising voices, and I was over that a long time ago. But I guess having discussions, I want them to be more productive. Like, I don't want to babysit bullshit topics, you know, like, and that was from within our last argument. Like, that was something that I decided, like, I don't want to ask a question that, yes, I desperately want to know the answer to, but what value does it really bring to the conversation? Like,
# growth.
What, I know, right? Like, what value does it bring to what I'm trying to resolve that's causing me an issue with whatever this is? And I think I ended up asking you one of those questions I was, like, dying to know. And it got me all riled up and super upset. I actually don't remember how I made it back to bed. But
having what?
Like, I don't remember, because after I asked you that stupid question that set me off, I knew it was going to set me off because I already knew the answer.
You did it anyway.
And I did it anyway, and I came upstairs, knocked out, and then I woke up in the bed. Like, I don't remember going back down. But anyways.
At some point, you got to come back down to the bed. You know?
Eventually, you got to come back to the room. Like, eventually, you got to see them.
Yeah.
So, I think, I don't know if it's really because of marriage, but I'm over the superly is not a word, but super emotionally charged conversations regarding a discussion. Like, I just kind of want to have okay, we're trying to get here. Like, how do we get here while addressing these things that caused this. I don't know.
Is it safe to say we're both even more committed to the approach to arguing that our therapist recommended, which is us together against the problem, instead of you're the problem and I'm bringing it up, or vice versa? No, it's we have a problem. Let's double team this problem, which is here. Then there's the two of us,
right?
And the two of us are double teaming this problem together,
right? Yeah. No, that approach, and I think I reminded myself of that the morning after, because I think that's when I sent you that really
I reminded myself of it 24/7 because I take what our therapist taught us and I keep it in my brain. I am mindful. Shout out to our therapist.
So I remembered that the next day after I got fired up, because I realized like, damn, I walked right into the trap that I myself knew I would fall for.
Set it for yourself?
Huh?
Okay, go ahead.
No, I knew. Yeah, like I knew I was gonna set the trap up for myself and still fall in the trap. Like I knew I was gonna end up doing that, and I did. But I would say waking up the next day and like, okay, like do I keep setting up traps and get the information of what I want to know, which I'm still not in. Like that doesn't change that I want to know. Like I still have a million questions, but this is not the time. Like this is not the time to ask those questions. Even though in my head at the very top, I'm like, no, you need to know because this is how you're gonna know. Like no, like it's different. I don't know. I don't know how to like explain how my brain was thinking about that.
Or did you just say how to explain your brain?
Yeah.
Just leave it at that. In general. How?
And my hair looks a mess because I just did it.
Mine
still
too.
drying.
Mine too. How has now being married changed your approach? Even though I would say you've done this prior, but how has being married changed your approach to finances? Or the importance of, I think kind of ties into the convo we had earlier about your sister.
I think that the reason why the approach changes is because it's like, okay, I have your full acknowledgement that you are in this relationship. I feel like that's what marriage brings. And so you're more comfortable starting to plan things together. I mean, like, there's people that they just dream together. They're not married and, like, that's awesome. But for the life of the relationship that we have had, that's not something that we could have just done. Like, I think, like, we needed a very public act of commitment.
I expected a different answer. Not in a bad way. I thought you were going to touch on, yes, in the past, we approached money as my money is your. In the recent past, in the past 2 years, your money is my money. My money is your money.
Yeah, we saw it as like one income.
Yeah, but
that
now
we're just putting in one bucket.
On some levels, your money is my money.
Legally,
according to the government, when it comes to like certain tax seasons and stuff, your money is his money is your money, right?
Yeah.
So that's what changed about it for me, because now like legally, there's some connection between our finances.
Like there's an official household income.
Yes, and the fact that that's the best way to put it. Yeah, and the fact like even our house is now if you listen to like previous episodes, we did bring it up, but our house is our house. Both of our names are in it.
Yes.
Even if, correct me if I'm wrong, I'll try to word this properly. Even if we officially hadn't done, like added you to the deed, I don't know whatever the deed, you would still be somehow connected to the house now. Not that we were married, right? In some way that you could probably get it in court somehow if I was to pass away or something.
Yeah, but
somehow,
that's the problem.
With a good argument,
I would have to get it in court, like. If you don't have that set up, I'd have to go through the court for them to give me the house. And that costs so much money. Yeah. That's why people end up selling the property because they're like, I'm not about to drop, a ton of money in the court to get the house that is rightfully mine. I don't have the power.
every once in a while you'll text me, even though I think we both go through this little moment, but you always kind of verbalize it. You'll text me and say, "You're my husband."
I know.
Or I'm your wife.
It's weird to be like, yeah, that's my husband.
What are you feeling when that thought goes through your head? Other than goosebumps and whatever else, how are you?
How did we get here?
Is that what it is? Is it more questions than a joyful feeling? Is it more questions like, my goodness?
It's more questions, not because. It's more questions for a personal reason. It really has nothing to do with you.
Explain, if you don't mind.
Because I never saw myself as someone that was going to get married. I was not interested really ever in getting married up until recently. I
think you mentioned this in the previous episode.
I did.
Where I think you kind of gave some advice to anyone who currently is saying that to themselves, saying, "Yo, I'm not about marriage. I'm not about wedding." Is it wrong to say, "Hold on, don't think that about yourself so soon. You never know"?
I would say don't fully subscribe to whatever it is that you like and don't like, want and don't want in your life. Like, don't fully own it as part of you, because anything can happen and your position will change. Like, anything can happen. And I don't even know. I don't know.
What?
So I knew, like, there's different points in our relationship where I was like, oh, okay. And then a part of me shifted. And then something else happened. A part of me shifted.
Shifted
and I
in
feel
the
like,
good way?
Shifted in the way towards marriage. And I feel like it may not be one thing. Like, it's not one thing will happen and you're going to be like, oh, my third eye is open and I see it. Like, it's going to be like small things that, because that happened, instead of going this way, now you started to go this way and something else happened and it made you turn a little more towards something that you said you never wanted. And I feel like that's what happened with me. Like, things kept shifting, and so my opinion changed. The things that I wanted in life changed, and that happens with everybody. Like,
let me ask you, and this is a question for everybody listening right now. And feel free to post in the chat. Top three defining moments in our 12 plus years that you feel got
asking for three things in 12 years
that you feel either got you or got us to this point. The top three moments. For me,
my graduation.
Okay, your graduation.
That moment around my graduation.
Why? Share with the people. Without sharing too much.
We shared all of it. What are you talking about?
That's why I said.
We didn't share like all of it. We shared like the highlights that people would find entertaining. When I graduated and Ode wasn't at my graduation
because we were separated at the time.
Because we were separated, he was dating somebody else. So
why was I dating somebody else? Why were we separated? Because they didn't want to be.
Because I'm a dirtbag. Because I was a dirtbag.
No, leave it at that.
No, I'm not right now a dirtbag. No, okay. I was a dirtbag.
She was a teenage dirtbag baby. Do you get the reference at least?
Yes.
I don't know if they played that song on Sábado Gigante.
Well, I get the reference because of the
TikTok.
Yes.
Jesus.
So,
damn,
man. Ode wasn't there, and I felt like I was missing something in that moment. What are you laughing at now?
Just like the basic stuff. I don't mean in a bad way. It's just, I find that interesting.
What?
You know what? I want to make an
episode
of that. No, not basic. No, just it's totally off topic. Just those things that I feel, and I'm purposely saying that, things that I feel. Oh, everybody knows that. And I'm sure there's stuff with you that you be like, oh, how do you not know that? I'm just like, no, I've never heard of that.
That's people with me at my job every day. They're like, wait, how do you not know that? I'm like, I didn't speak English until a certain age. Like, I spoke only Spanish. I didn't know anything about American culture. Like, you guys don't understand. Anyways.
Go ahead, yeah.
So, the graduation.
I wasn't there.
I realized something was missing, or I was really happy, but I was also, like, really down because I knew he wasn't there. And then, like, I saw him after, and I had my cap and gown, and he's just staring at me like, what the fuck you want? Like, no care. So that really broke my heart.
I'm going to go ahead and agree with you, that being a top 3 moment, because the aftermath of that said a lot about both of us.
Yeah.
The aftermath and how we responded to that said a lot about both of us. And our want to make this work, and said a lot about our toxicity.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a witness to testify of the toxicity.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I meant amore.
Okay.
Psych, I did not. I meant another biash. Okay, so I would say the second would be...
For me, it would be Kalel being born.
I was going to say that, but I was going to say something different.
What?
It wasn't...
I'm not referring to like the day of his birth. When I saw him, I knew. No, just...
No.
Having a child together.
It was... yes and no.
Explain.
Because we didn't really get along.
During your pregnancy?
Yes. And it still breaks my heart to this day.
And
so it's like, yes, Kalel, because now here is a child. Like, here's a product of us. And like, without really discussing it, we kind of just were like, okay, we're committed to this for him, you know? But we really didn't get along. And I don't know if that was a defining moment. I don't know how to feel about that moment. I don't know. I know it's a defining moment.
Yeah.
It has some importance, but there was a lot of down with that. So I don't know that I would say that, but it's something about him.
Off topic, on topic, episode 1 or whatever, when one person wants another child and the other doesn't. You want to have that?
I had a dream last night that you said yeah.
You want to have that convo now and see what the people have to say?
I already know what the people are going to say. We can have that convo.
What are they going to say?
Have it.
Okay. Really quickly.
Wait. That could literally be another topic, so just let it go.
Okay.
All right.
Because I was going to say, third moment, wedding, boom. Now, get back to this whole child thing. The people ain't going to say that, because all my guys are with me right now.
No, they're not. Okay, so, all
right.
I would say something with Kalel on the second one. I can't say exactly what it is, but something with him.
Yeah.
So Kalel is the second. And the third would be,
The third for me, and not, they're not in chronological order. So far they just kind of happen to be.
Mm-hmm.
The third for me would be defining moment. I want to say our wedding.
What are we talking about?
No. But
oh, you know what? I agree.
For several reasons.
Yeah, I agree.
One, it's the best example of, to me, our wedding. And if you heard, for those of you who heard episode 104 and 105, if you haven't, go check it out now. I know this is coming out right on the heels of 105. To me, it's a good example of how the foundation of our relationship, which is like, the love that we have for each other, that no matter what's going on, that can win over. Does that make sense? The fact that we weren't really getting along during that,
no, that's
whatever.
what I was like.
But yet still,
you're right.
The wedding day, from the start and the beginning of the
it was
of the
like
wedding,
emotionally
put all that stuff aside and let's just focus on the fact that we love each other.
Yeah, and it wasn't
naturally.
Because we didn't really talk.
Yeah.
Before the wedding. Well, we did, and we kind of just like snapped at each other.
We both kind of silently, without saying it, agreed. Let's just love each other right now because we do.
Yeah. Even the kwekwe.
Yeah.
We did not talk at all. Actually, we were fighting. Like
right up until we both were in the same room.
Really? No, you. Oh yeah, you text me, and I was like, I'm on my way. Like, leave me the fuck alone.
So we were arguing up until the event started. Meaning when Vicky got there, 'cause that's when it started. Because Vicky was late.
No apologies.
Technically late to her own wedding. Technically.
No apologies.
You want to be that much of a stereotype?
A girl had to get her hair done.
Same. Had to get my face beat by the gods.
Anyways. Oh, that was the thing, too. I had to get my makeup done. I had to get my hair done.
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, you had 10 hours to do it. But anyways. So wedding, Kalel, and that time period, episode 50. And we're going to talk about this whole child thing, second child thing. But not... Do you want to do it now or you want to do a whole episode, another episode?
We were talking about...
No, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. Another episode, and we could end this one here. I think we touched on everything.
So life after the wedding.
The wedding. And this stemmed from us talking about people saying, "So how do you feel?" I'm like,
yeah. And I'm like, it feels exactly the same.
Yeah. It's the same as someone on your 40.
Just can't break up easy.
Yeah, it's the same as someone on, I'm 40. Someone asked me next year, July, whatever, after my birthday, how do you feel now that you're 41? Same way I felt yesterday. Physically, I can't move. My back hurts. My knee hurts. I feel the same way. My insides are like that of a 90-year-old because I eat cheeseburgers and sodas 24/7. If somebody would cook at home, I'm kidding. Vicky cooks. I'm kidding. Send us air fryer recommendations.
You got a ton of them.
I
thought you were going to buy one.
There is one. We got to call Ravi, and Ravi has to break down why it's the best one. And then
you have to call Ravi.
Yeah, and then Ravi will find it, even though it might cost like $300. He'll find it for me for $10, and it'll be brand new, fell off the back of a truck, or literally delivered to us from the manufacturer and the owner of the company. Somehow he will say Ravi sent me.
Yeah,
some $1 billion tycoon will drive his car here and say Ravi sent me and told me to give you this.
You're so.
And then he'll call Ravi to confirm.
Yo,
Ravi,
your imagination is so annoying. Like, now I see why Kalel would just go on and on and on from a fictitious moment.
You gotta
like
do the full
this
act
right
out.
here.
But
anyways, so life after the wedding, now that we're married, is still the same arguments.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the last argument really was... I would say from like, oh my goodness, I'm married now. What if I'm not anymore?
What?
Like, that's where all that stemmed from.
Explain, please.
How can I explain without giving information?
Okay.
Like, I'll try. Okay, so...
Turn it into a hype.
The topic that we were discussing.
No, give it a generic topic. Can you somehow...
I can't. I'm not quick on my feet like that.
All right.
What we were having discussions about.
Let's just skip it. Let's skip it.
There is a fear of what if... I think it's because the embarrassment is bigger. That's really what it is. The embarrassment is more public.
The embarrassment of no longer being together. There's no longer being together, and then there's no longer being married.
And why?
Okay, different levels.
Because when you're dating and someone's a dirtbag, right? Mm-hmm. And you guys break up because of it, that is a behavior on that person. I'm doing it to you because you're someone else.
I'm just, if you
that's the behavior of this person, right?
Thanks.
So I feel like when you're married and that happens, whatever that person does is also part of who you are now to other people. Like, no one, like, I feel like when you're dating, no one says like, like 5 years down the line, no one says like, oh, that's so-and-so's girlfriend and he did this and they broke up because of this. Like, because they're boyfriend and girlfriend, you're like, oh, wow, he's shit,
Yeah.
But I feel like when he or she is shit, whatever. I said I'm talking to my girlfriend or girl. So, I get what you're saying. So when you're married and they do something, it's like, oh yeah, she was married. Yeah. It's like, oh, but how is that? Like, I didn't it just feels like that's how people look at you. Like, oh, her last marriage didn't work out because of A, B, and C. Like, wait, why does it have to be phrased her last marriage didn't work out because? Like, why can't it be their marriage didn't work? And I don't know. There's still some like sense of ownership, even if the other person is the one that does it. And there's a fear. That conversation is, I feel like there was an underlying fear of something like that happening. And I'm like, oh.
I think along the same lines, and it's probably saying the same thing. If you're just dating somebody, even if it's a serious relationship, and y'all break up, your fault or not, he couldn't keep a woman, she couldn't keep a man, right? Or,
and you get those.
No, yeah.
Keep no man.
Yeah, you broke up, and even though that might hurt your feelings, whatever, to me it's of a certain level. But you were married, and your marriage falls apart. You couldn't maintain a family. You couldn't maintain a husband. You couldn't keep a wife. You couldn't maintain a home.
Yeah.
It looks like such a bigger failure, even though some might say, we were together 12 years, couldn't keep a man. We were married and got divorced. Oh, she couldn't keep her family together. What did she? And then culturally, even if the male was the dirtbag, you depending on what culture you're in, couldn't.
It's through the good and the bad. Through the happy times and the bad times, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that.
Yeah,
that the other person has to carry now in public with everyone, and then it's like it's not just that. Now it's like being called, your child's last name, even though you're not together anymore. No longer wearing a ring. That's a big thing for a lot of people. Like people that get separated and they don't want to stop wearing their ring because it's like once they take it off, that means that's it. It's a thing. I just
thought of the I guess this could happen with breakups, whether it's a relation, or just a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, or something not so serious. I don't want to just say boyfriend girlfriend, or a marriage breaking up. Something that you're trying to get over, probably on the verge of getting over, and seeing those people for the first time since your breakup, and they give you the.
So how are you?
You're like, hey, what's up? They're like, for those who are listening, is that face people make when they want to feel bad for you. They don't know what to say. They want to give you that look that says, I'm here. Oh my gosh, I'm here. Hug.
Yeah.
And you're just like, it's 2 years ago. It's been 2 years. It's been 3 years. It's been 1+ years.
So no.
But yeah.
But yeah, that's
it is different. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I get it.
That changes when you're married, and I guess that I don't think it changes. I think that fear just becomes more profound because the consequences become much more public.
Let me ask you a question. How confident are you that this is it? That neither one of us is going anywhere? Scale of 1 to 100. Scale of 1 to 10. I don't know why I said 100.
I know. I was like, why so many numbers?
Kalel. He always does that. You're like, oh, Kalel, how many do you have? 1,000?
1,000.
Like, how many pennies? How many monies do you have?
Monies.
1,000. Even though it's like 2 pennies.
He was like, how big is that? 1,000.
Yeah. or do you not want to say on air?
Yeah, I don't want to say on air.
That means it's not a 10. And that's okay.
I feel...
Because you're being realistic.
Because I'm still... Because, like I said, I still have so many more questions. Mm-hmm. And that's really why I haven't...
Okay.
I can't give that answer because we just came off of a discussion slightly.
Understandable. Okay.
Like a toe came off of it. The big toe.
Well, I'm at a 12 because I believe in our love. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the You, Me, We podcast.